Travel 101. Is solo travel right for you? Now, one of the things I'm constantly relaying is if I waited for people to do stuff with me, I would have never done about 80 to 90% of the things in my life, and that's including travel. With that said, I'm a huge proponent of solo travel. While there are some obvious downsides, these minor infractions in no way outweigh the massive benefits one gets for traveling solo. For starters, as a solo traveler, you are your own boss. Think of it like running your own business, the ultimate entrepreneur. You're able to start work when you want to, like starting your day when you feel like waking up, work as long as you want to or not want to, for example, party all night or go to bed early, and book as many clients as you want to, like take a nice stroll for the day or pack in a sightseeing extravaganza. If these references don't cut it, how about I break it down in another form? Solo travel essentially puts you in control of your day. The beauty of this is that depending on your mood, energy level, and of course budget, you can plan to do as little or as much as you like for as long as you like, without having to consult another person or a group of people. This is such an underrated experience because most people wouldn't dare make plans to travel somewhere without knowing they have a pocket pal to tag along. While having a friend escort you throughout your trip does bring its own benefits, one must also take into consideration what comes with having a second, third, or fourth party on the invite list. If you haven't guessed it by now, I'll tell you in one word: attitude. Yep, that's right. Good old fashioned, moody, flaky, unreliable attitude.
Seriously?
I'm sorry, what?
This is something you don't have to deal with when you solo travel. Let's face it, people bring their baggage, both literally and figuratively. And most of the time, people don't pack light, if you know what I mean. It is rare that you can find an amazing travel buddy that you both like to do the same things, eat the same things, and have the same budget and can get along with each other 100% of the time. If you have found such a person, hats off to you. I'm incredibly jealous. Because while I'll tout my praises for solo travel, I will also be quick to admit that every now and then, having someone along for the ride can bring an added dimension to the travel experience. For example, if you see something funny, cool, or spectacular that you can't quite capture in a photo to share it with someone later, it does provide an added value to have someone with you to share that moment with. Now, let's hope it's not an Igor who always ruins moments and makes you wish you were by yourself instead. Also, while the invention of the selfie stick, self-timer, and tripod feature have changed the solo travel photo game, there are still some shots that even these gadgets can't quite capture. Of course, if you're a savvy solo traveler, you can just go with the old-fashioned way and actually talk to a stranger and ask them to take your photo. But who does this anymore since social media has killed all forms of social interaction? But that's a whole nother podcast. Finally, I must say that while solo travel provides you with so many joys of flexible travel, it does come at oftentimes a higher price than booking for two. That is, unless you're a nomadic couch surfing hostel backpacker. I recently, though, found a few travel apps that are trying to curtail this. If you like to travel in style, i.e., book a nice room, rent a car, or even catch a cab, you have to foot the entire bill on your own. Whereas if you have a travel mate, oftentimes the cost of splitting a room or taxi saves both travelers money in the long run. So there's a slight win in this category for the non-solo traveler. Despite this small victory, I'm still in favor of solo travel. What's great is that the memories you make while traveling are yours and yours alone. No one can ever taint, change, or take that away from you. When you think back on that time, you won't have to remember the people who may have ruined the trip for you, or even whatever happened between you and that person that went with you on the trip but are no longer in your life. Your travel story is your travel story, and it is one of the most precious things you can experience in this life. So don't be afraid. Get out there and travel solo. For more content and to download copies of my ebooks, go to simplelifeconversations.blog. That's simplelifeconversations.blog. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast channel to get the latest episode of Conversation Starters.